Welcome to the NSC Prerace Show. No matter where you join us throughout the world, we thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Thomas Ford, NSC analyst, bringing you the inside scoop on everything NSC. Now, it's hard to believe that we've already got 4 seasons in the books, but with season 5 just around the corner, we want to make sure we get you caught up to speed with everything going on behind the scenes. We're going to bring on co-founder, president, and CEO of the league, Miguel Jose. We'll be talking about the changing of venues this season. We're also going to recap all the action from season 4. Now, 2014 not only marks the start of season 5 here at the NSC, it's also an Olympic year. And what better way to combine the two than bringing to the league 4-time Olympian, Tacoma native, the pioneer of the Inline to Ice movement, Casey Boudier. Casey will be doing battle with the league's best January 18th at the Tacoma Armory. And I also want to make sure we take this time to give a big shout out to co-founder of the league, Joey Mantilla, Federal Way's own J.R. Selski, and the rest of the Inline to Ice crew that will be representing Team USA at Sochi in the Winter Games. I know you guys are going to bring home the gold. We wish you the best of luck. Now, before we get started with the rest of the show, let's make sure everyone knows what's going on. Let's bring you the rules. Here are the 5 things you need to know, brought to you by Bones Bearings.
The first thing you need to know in the NSC is how the race begins. Athletes are designated starting lanes. The first command is racers to your mark. The second command is set. When the gun goes off, the race begins. If an athlete leaves before the sound of the gun, they're penalized a 1 meter disadvantage. 2 penalties equals a disqualification. After the race begins, athletes will race around a 100-meter oval marked by 4 cones. If at any point a skate goes inside one of those marked cones, the athlete who committed the penalty will be disqualified for straddling. Because there's no designated lanes after the race begins, lots of contact can occur during the race. And to help ensure fair racing, several rules apply to limit the contact. First rule is riding out. A ride out is when the inside athlete passing makes body contact with the outside athlete without having his hips all the way by. The next rule that limits contact is the ride in. Now this is when the inside athlete is passing and the outside athlete impedes on his track, preventing him from passing. The most important thing you need to know is how the athlete wins the race. The first part of the skater's skate that goes across the line is the winner, and you'll actually see athletes go down to a split position, commonly known as an eagle hawk, to try to win the race.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got President of the NSC, CEO, co-founder, Miguel Jose join us on the show. Miguel, how's everything going here at NSC?
Man, we're rocking and rolling.
Well, with the January event coming very, very soon, there's been a lot of changes behind the scene, and one of which is a change of venue. Talk a little bit about kind of the change of venue and how it all came about.
We're actually going to be in downtown Tacoma. So for those of you that don't know, it's a sister city for Seattle. It's a gorgeous metropolitan city on the water. And we've been looking to do a event in downtown Tacoma, and we were actually working with the city to try to figure this out. And we could not get over the logistics of not having a floor, and so that idea kind of died. And we ended up having the Tacoma Armory fall right in our lap. A good friend of mine signed a lease for the Armory after it closed down, and called us up and says, hey, I got the perfect venue for NSC. So we jumped right on it and then contacted the city and are working with them to promote a great event.
Now the Armory, if you don't know, this is a huge floor. It's a 20,000 square foot floor and should provide a lot of excitement for the race fans. Now, if you guys also didn't know, we're bringing this thing back to the East Coast. It's been a couple of years since the NSC has been back east. Talk a little bit about kind of the schedule, moving the schedule to a weekend, taking the schedule over to the East Coast, and kind of where the remaining schedule will go from here.
Yeah, so the January event on the 18th at the Armory is going to be a Saturday. Then we're back in March at the Armory, which is also going to be a Saturday. And then in Pittsburgh, we're rocking and rolling on a Friday. So we were getting a lot of pressure from the East Coast to bring the events over there. So many of our great skaters are from the East Coast, and we thought it'd only be fair if we can bring it out there. And we never had anyone to promote it. But Rob Campbell, our announcer, says, hey, I'll put this on my back and I'll run with it. So we said, let's do it. So we committed to it. And then the season finale, we have not disclosed the location yet, but we're working on something special that we can't announce yet.
So remember, January 18th, that's our first event. Our second event will be at the Tacoma Armory again in March. April, we're bringing it to the East Coast. And for that finale, we got something special in the works, and we'll make sure we let you guys know when that thing comes in. Well, Miguel, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I appreciate you explaining to everyone kind of the change of venue. It's very exciting times here at NSC. Can you believe it's already season 5?
Oh man, no, it's a dream come true, so it's pretty cool.
We're back here at the NSC Prerace Show. Now, January 18th marks a very, very special day. Not only it is the debut of Season 5 of the National Speed Skating Circuit, it is also the first time the NSC will be held in a facility that is not a skating rink. Now, this facility has its history, and it's the first time professional speed skating will be hosted here, but it's definitely not the first time sporting events have been held here. We've done a little bit of a history lesson for you on the Tacoma Armory. Check it out.
The Tacoma Armory, a National Guard armory, was completed in 1907 and first opened its doors on New Year's Eve of 1908 with the first annual military ball. The armory originally housed horse stables, a shooting range, and even a swimming pool. Over its history, it has been visited by the likes of William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, and Harry Truman. For over 100 years, the National Guard used this facility for various drills and training for soldiers preparing for or headed to war. When not being used in times of war or for training purposes, the Armory has hosted a variety of public events, including military and high school dances, graduations, concerts, car shows, and famous Battle of the Bands that featured Northwest bands such as the Princetons. This venue has also hosted various athletic events such as basketball, boxing, and roller derby. One of the most attended events at the venue was a charity boxing event where former world heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey served as a celebrity referee, and on January 18th will host its very first professional speed skating event.
Well, wow, that place has a rich history. Pretty fortunate to be hosting our first event there coming January 18th. We want to make sure everyone gets caught up to speed on everything that happened in Season 4. We had everything you can think of a race could have. We had falls, we had disqualifications, we had some heated tempers flaring, but at the end of the day, we had some division winners. Let's start first with the fastest man on skates. Now that title is held by none other than the Ragin' Cajun, Justin Stelly. After a very subpar performance in the first event of last season, Justin Stelly comes raging back in the 100-meter time trial, taking the title at a time of 8.36. That time was not only the best of the night, but also the best of the season, as he held on to be the Season 4 fastest man on skates. In the sprint division, Jeremy Anderson continued his dominance, winning 7 of the 8 races on the season, earning him the title of sprint champion. Moving on to the endurance division, after a slow start, the big man, Michael Cheek, grinds his way to 340 points, taking home the endurance division. Finally, in the quest for the black suit, Jarrett Silky Smooth Paul holds off the best, going 4 for 4, stamping his name in the record books as the only skater to hold the grand champion title for the entire season. The quest for the black jersey, brought to you by Nimbleware. Our event is broken up into 2 divisions. There's a sprint division, there's an endurance division, and the champions within those divisions all go against each other in the grand champions event. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about first the sprint division. The sprint division is made up of the 300 meter and the 500 meter distances, so you better watch out, because if you blink you might miss. Get ready for a lot of crazy passing and a lot of acceleration. Should be fun to watch the sprint guys tonight. Now on the other side of the coin, we've got the endurance athletes. The endurance athletes will take place in the 1,000 meter and the 1,600 meter events tonight. Now you'll see a lot more strategy, a lot of these guys jockeying for position, but don't get it twisted, because when it gets to the end, it's going to be turn and burn time as you see these guys sprint to the finish. After you guys see all those guys get a chance to race a little bit, every one of our athletes will participate in a 100-meter time trial. The 100-meter time trial is a flying time trial, so they'll get one lap to speed up as fast as they can to run that fastest lap and claim the crown as tonight's fastest man on skates. After the events are over, we get to the Grand Champions race. So we have competitors from the sprint division versus competitors from the endurance division, and we'll always throw in the wild card when we have that fastest man on skates. The Grand Champions race will be an 800-meter race, so right in the middle of a sprint and endurance race, and that's where we get to see everything go down and race for that black jersey and the title of Grand Champion.
Well, folks, that's all she wrote for us here at the NSC Pre-Race Show. Make sure you come to Tacoma. January 18th, it's going down. Doors open at 6 p.m. West Coast time. Racing starts at 7. If you can't make it to the West Coast, join us online. The feed is free, ProNSC.com, or you can find the link on Facebook. You're going to have all your favorite racers doing battle. We've got guys coming back to the league like Nathan Jackson, newcomers Jonathan Blair, Hiroki all the way from Japan. The list goes on. The racing's going to be fast. Going to be our best event yet. See you at the Armory.